Welcome to the Vintage Ballers podcast. I'm your host, Brad Coreno. And on today's episode, we have Tavares Sledge joining us on the show. Tavares attended Wright State University and South Carolina Aiken, where he played college basketball before going pro, playing overseas in multiple countries. He recently just won the TBL championship with the Enid Outlaws. So without further ado, please welcome Tavares Sledge. What I want to do is kind of go back to your childhood and take us through your whole career until you got to this point now, so people can kind of understand where you came from and how you got to where you did. And, obviously I know you've been in a couple different leagues in the past few years. So, I saw that you grew up in Mobile, Alabama. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's I'm from an area close to Mobile. It's called Baymonette, Alabama, but most people say it's Mobile. It's the Mobile area.
Okay. And what was that? Are you a Bama or Auburn fan?
Bama, for sure. Roll Tide.
Oh man, it's funny. I work in an industry with guys all around the country, and the Bama guys always, have their Bama football gear on. We're always ripping on us because I'm an Ohio State fan, so they're always giving me crap.
Yeah,
about that.
I got the Alabama tattoo.
Oh, you do? You're all in, man.
I'm all in, man. Roll Tide.
You guys, I've never seen anything like that with all those championships and Saban, and I mean, it really is like it's like a NFL team, really. I mean, you guys have so many first round picks every year. It's unbelievable. Never seen anything like that.
Yeah, it's amazing in Alabama, the culture.
Oh, it's got to be. And with you, so, how did you fall in love with basketball? Because obviously Alabama in general is a football state. Where did your love of basketball come from?
I always played, like street basketball. Growing up, like as a kid, we always go to the park and play. So I always loved basketball. I really didn't start playing until 8th grade in middle school. And then I didn't play my 9th grade year in high school because I had moved to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where I went to high school in Brookwood. I played 3 years there, but I just fell in love with it. I realized I was good at 8th grade, so I just continued to play.
And do you have any favorite team or player growing up?
I've always been a Kobe fan. That was growing up. I'm a KD fan now, big KD fan.
I am a KD. It's funny because Kobe so you're probably around 30, 29, 30?
29, yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, yep. So, because I'm 38, so I'm about 10 years older than you. And Kobe, when I grew up, it's funny because I went through Jordan when I was a kid. So I saw a ton of Jordan, and being from Cleveland, I always saw him killing us. And then Kobe came along, and I was skeptical of him at first. He was an 18-year-old kid fresh out of high school. Garnett had came in the league a year before that. So back then, it wasn't really common to have all these high school kids coming in the league. And Kobe changed. He changed that forever. Him and Garnett really both. It just he was his second year playing against Jordan at MSG in the All-Star game, and we knew right then, it was he was a special talent. But is there anything that as far as Kobe is concerned, what was your favorite aspect of his game?
The Mamba mentality. He came to every game to play, to win. To give his. It was more of just seeing that attitude he had.
And he did. Yeah, he had a very different kind of attitude. He had that MJ kind of killer instinct in him. And we don't see that. You don't see that very often.
No, you don't.
And then as far as KD, talk about a unique talent, basically a 7-footer who plays small forward and he can score anyone at any aspect of the game. He could post you up. He could shoot threes. He can hit the mid-range. It doesn't matter. Another talent that I remember seeing him in Texas, and I wasn't sure if he'd be able to hang in the NBA for, because he was so skinny and tiny, and you didn't think he's been obviously, you could make an argument he's one of the top 2 or 3 all-time scorers in the history of the NBA. Just how, he's incredible. He really is.
That's my opinion. I think he's the best scorer ever in NBA history.
Tavares, I think you can make that argument. Even had MJ. MJ didn't have that size. He wasn't 6'11" with that wingspan. I know you're 6'9". You're a big dude.
Yeah.
So, you're versatile. So, KD again with his, I've never seen anybody that can score at basically any area of the floor like KD can. Jordan had all that ability too, but he just wasn't 6'11". He was, 5 inches smaller. Yeah. So, but KD is he really is unbelievable. And what he did in the playoffs this year, without Kyrie and Harden, was even more unbelievable. He almost beat the Bucks himself.
Yep.
So, take us back to your high school days, Tavares. When did you know that you could eventually play major college basketball and pro basketball beyond that? Was it early on in high school, and how tall were you when you entered your freshman year?
I was 6'8" in ninth grade.
Wow.
And I didn't play my ninth grade year. 10th grade year, I played pretty good. I think I averaged like 17 points. But it was my junior year where I think I grew an inch or whatever, and then I started shooting the ball more. And I honestly hoped and wished, I had NBA dreams in high school. I thought I would, I thought I could make it happen fresh out of college, early in college, my college career. But yeah, I always knew I could play, always.
And take us through your high school career, junior, senior year, what was that like? And when did you, again, like preparing for college, were you getting recruited by anybody at that time, or where were you looking to go?
Yeah, I was. I had high looks for Miami, Florida. That's where I wanted to go. I don't know what happened. My senior year, I lost interest in those guys. And I had Missouri State, Wright State, Duquesne, East Carolina, a couple schools I went and visited. I always liked Georgetown. I wanted to go to Georgetown. I never had any loves from Georgetown or nothing. But so I don't know. I felt good coming through high school, honestly.
And do you have any moment in high school that you remember the most? Any game that comes back to you?
Man, I do. But we played Holt one year. I think I had like 38 or 40 points or something like that. It was like when I was just dunking. I dunked like I never did before. I dunked on somebody. I've been trying to get that film forever. I used to live with the coach. He was married to my aunt. And I've been trying to get that video for so long. I still haven't got it. But yeah, I always remember that.
Yeah, you got to get that. You got to post it. I want to see that.
No, for sure.
And as far as Wright State, I know you went there, before South Carolina, Aiken. Why Wright State? And it's funny because I'm from Ohio, so I'm very familiar with Wright State and Dayton and that whole area. Why did you choose Wright State, and what was your experience like there?
The reason I chose Wright State is because Butler was in the league, and that's the 2 years in a row they played. I think North Carolina and Duke, they lost. 2009 and 2010.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I want to say because I went there in 2011. Wright State 2011. They had played Butler, and Butler was getting looked at like crazy, and I just figured, hey, all eyes is on that league, so that's a good place for me to go. And they had high interest. They promised, that I would get my degree if education was more than basketball or whatever. And that was big for me. Which I got my degree in 3 years. So it was that I was actually committed, verbally committed to Missouri State first, and then I changed it and went to Wright State. Okay.
And you said you got your degree in 3 years. What did you get your degree in?
Communication.
Wow. 3 years. That's impressive.
Yeah.
As far as the Butler connection you're talking about, the back-to-back championship games, and of course Brad Stevens, Gordon Hayward, they had a lot of guys there. They had a couple guys who made it to the NBA in that era, and that was they almost beat Duke, if you remember that. Hayward launched a three. He was 1-3 away from beating Duke that year. That was an incredible run. So I
remember watching it.
Oh, it was awesome. And I was rooting for Butler. I wanted Butler to win. So that was that was a great game, and you're right, that conference was getting a lot of looks at that point. So going into it, what was the competition like?
To be honest, man, it was tough. We had Green Bay, Milwaukee, Valpo, Detroit. It was a tough league. UIC. My freshman year, it was just more of a role because we had older players. It was a couple of us young guys, but we had a lot of older players and stuff that was already. We had Julius Mays, who ended up transferring my sophomore year. He went to Kentucky. Great player. So we had guys like that just throughout my time as a freshman. It was more of a role thing.
And what was your, so when did you get your degree at South Carolina Aiken or Wright State?
I got it at Wright State.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what was your reason for
I
transferring
went
to
as a graduate.
Gotcha.
I had
Okay.
gotten in a little trouble. Yeah. I had gotten in a little trouble my junior year. Coming into my senior year, the beginning of my senior year.
Okay. And then you went down to South Carolina Aiken, and where is that at? What part of South Carolina?
Aiken.
Oh, it's Aiken.
Aiken,
Okay,
South Carolina.
I didn't realize it's a city. And is it like I don't know much about the campus or about the college in general, but what is it like? And what was the atmosphere basketball wise?
I mean, to be honest, it's great. It's very nice. The Convocation Center. They the fans. I mean, they love you. If you play there, they love you. They welcome you like it's like home, man. They support you. They help you. They're there, man. It's a great community. Actually, I live in Augusta now.
Okay.
But I have a godmom that lives in Aiken now. From meeting her through Aiken, that I go see all the time. So it's like I got family in Aiken still.
Very cool. And did you,
Yeah.
Playing there? Who was in your conference?
I played Augusta. Who was in that conference? South Georgia, Georgia Southern, or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't really remember. I only played half a semester because when I went there, I was suspended for a year from school or whatever, so I had to sit out the first semester. I played in 13 games.
Okay.
Second semester. Yeah.
And was that your senior year?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was. Yeah. It was my senior year.
And then after graduating, what was I know you played overseas for a little bit and you had some different experiences. Take us through that. What was your thinking, after graduating? Did you want to continue playing basketball or were you trying to get into something else?
No, it was definitely basketball. I went to Chile in 2016.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I won a championship there.
What was that like playing down there?
I loved it. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It was a great experience. It was my first professional career. We won everything. We won it all. I don't think we lost a game, to be honest with you. I can't remember, but I don't think we lost a game. We won it all. I then went to Italy for a little while, but I didn't stay long because I had an invite to try out with the G League. My agent had put me in. I made it to training camp, but never made it through. And then I tried out for the Kansas City Tornadoes with the TBL. But it was the first year, so it was in NAPBL that year.
Okay.
I finished that season, which went well. I think I led the league in scoring and rebounds in the TBL that year. And then I went to Ecuador and in Monto. I led the team we went to the Final Four. We lost. I came back. I played with the Kansas City Tornadoes again. We were the best team in the league. We were the number one team in the league. And I went back to Ecuador and played with the Pirates, Pirates. And then I came back to the States and played with Gulf Shores, Gulf Coast Lions in the TBL with Coach Ed. I left early and went to Tijuana and the Super Copa. But I got the COVID. It was during COVID, so we played in 3 games. But then we played in 2-3 games, and then COVID hit. Came back home, and I just finished this season with the Heated Outlaws.
Yep. I remember watching some of that and paying attention to the TBL this year. And it's a really, I want to get into that in a second. But before we get into the TBL and some of the other experiences, take us back to your overseas experiences. Because Ecuador and Chile and all these places you played at, that's a pretty unique experience. And I've had several other guys on the show who played overseas and they loved it. But give me some takeaways and what were the challenges of playing in those countries?
Really, it wasn't a challenge. The biggest challenge I had was just being away from family. I'm a big family guy, so that was my biggest concern or problem throughout the whole time. Basketball wise, I mean, like I've always fit in with like fans or just playing. I've always been on winning teams. So it always went well for me overseas. With the management, with players, with the fans, I've never had a problem. I loved it. Italy was kind of like my worst experience, if anything. I mean, it was different. It was really different. Just like living conditioning, just everything. It was just different. The food was different. Like it was just all different.
And what was the leagues like? The league in Italy and the league in Ecuador, and like, what were the competition like, and what were the styles of play like?
Well, I played in the top league in Ecuador and Chile. Italy was a second or third division. It was a low division in Italy. I played in the Supercopa, which is the top league in Mexico. The competition's always been good. Italy was kind of like, I mean, it varied from different teams. The teams that had money, that could afford players, they had good teams or good programs. But some teams, I mean, it wasn't that competitive. But Chile was very, I mean, like it was competitive. Even though I think we won every game, it was very competitive every game. Ecuador is a league. It's always tough. It's always good players throughout that league. Even now, I had a few players on the Heated Outlaws that played in Ecuador. I've played against different guys that's played in Ecuador throughout the TBL and things that go overseas that play in Europe now. So it's a good league in Ecuador. Even Supercopa, we had a few ex-NBA players. I had one on my team. There was a couple of different other teams. So it's been competitive.
Very cool. Yeah, it's really interesting to hear these stories because we wouldn't know being in the States. Like we're kind of, I don't know what some of these leagues are like. And what are the styles of play like? Is it more of like a Euro style or is it more American or, what is the, is it run and gun? Is it
it depends. It all depends. Some of it is Euro style, depends on the team and the coach. And some teams had a lot of American players. So, they basically play American ball sometimes, like just naturally. It all varies on like the coach or the style of play the program already has locked in. Like we played more of American basketball, like pick and roll. It was pick and roll everything most of the time. I pick and pop a lot, but it was a lot of picks, roll when it's open and stuff. So it was a lot of American ball with me on my teams.
And did you see, in the last 10 years, and I've had multiple NBA players in the show and people who played overseas as well. And we talk about the Steph Curry effect with everybody shooting threes the past 10 years. Have you seen that in the leagues you played in? The threes, gone up?
Oh yeah, everybody 1 through 5.
Wow. Yeah, it's funny to hear that because every single person has said the same thing. And they're like, they call it the Steph Curry effect. It's interesting because they went back, Tavares, like 15, 20 years ago compared to now and looked at high school, college, and NBA and to see how many threes people are shooting. And they went up astronomically, and it's really because a lot of Steph and Clay too gets credit for that. But, Steph just being the assassins that they are, everybody wants to take that, 30-foot three now. And it's crazy. I mean, to watch it happening and, but it's interesting to hear that it happened, elsewhere too, and not just in the States. So, what is your, let's take us to the TBL now. And how did you get involved in the TBL? Where'd you try out? I know you said you played in the early TBL before it was called the TBL. Give us your experiences with those teams. And then of course, this year, I want to get to the championship.
My first experience with the TBL was with the Kansas City Tornadoes. It was good. I mean, I played with a lot of good players, man. I met so many players that year. I mean, like, I had Kareem Rush on my team who played with the Lakers, who played with over. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was on my team. I played with Kevin Young, who I still talk to on the daily. Like, we played against Smush Parker, Mario Moon, all those guys.
No kidding.
That year. So,
yep, I know all those guys.
I still talk to Mario through Instagram all the time. He check in and stuff sometimes. So, TBL has been good, man. It's a great opportunity. That's mainly what it is. It gives guys opportunity to either put your name out there, put your numbers out there, get video out there. It just gives you the opportunity to just try to do more or do better, or for some guys, just still continue to play. You know what I mean? Some guys just want to play. So it gives a lot of people opportunity.
And what are the seasons like? How many games, and is a lot of travel? Give us a little background on that.
I mean, as the years done went on, man, it's been more games, more teams. Everybody, every year is the number of teams have went up. It's a lot of traveling. It's changed up though. Like this year was the first year they split it up in 4 divisions, so nobody traveled from one side of the from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast unless it was set up that way for certain teams. But it was set up in divisions from the West to the East, or whatever. So it's changed over the years. A lot of people were close to home, so it's teams that are close to each other that don't have to travel that far. So they play each other maybe 4 to 6 times throughout the year. But it's been good. It's been getting better as time goes on.
It's definitely getting more publicity, more press, and again, I started following it a while back, and it's been fun kind of watching more and more teams join the league, and I love semi-pro leagues. I think they're very competitive.
I mean, the thing is now with all these NBA players or former NBA players owning teams now.
I think Steve Francis has a team.
Like Steve Francis or the Indiana team, the Indiana team. Who else? The coach that's coaching with Kokomo, who played with Jordan.
Is it?
Livingston.
Cliff.
Yeah, Cliff.
Yep.
Yes, sir. And what's his name? Is it Kendrick Perkins? I want to say, who just got a team.
Yeah, he did. He did. Yep. I remember seeing that.
Man, it's honestly growing. So, it deserves credit. It deserves the publicity it's about to get. It's been rough. It grew. It started rough, but man, it's actually growing and progressing to something that's great, actually. So.
It really is cool to see. And you're right. There's a lot of former NBA players now getting involved in it. And that's only going to make it bigger, especially when you got guys like Stevie Franchise. Stevie Franchise, for those of you young kids listening, when I was in high school, he was one of the men, and it was him and Iverson.
Oh, yeah. I watched it. Bro, yeah. I watched Steve Francis, man. Like, what?
Oh, he was a monster for about 5 or 6
big
years.
Franchise player,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Big boy. Big monster. Beast.
He was a beast.
I remember, man, when we played Houston, I'm not really starstruck or whatever, but he came up to me and talked to me, and I thought that was pretty cool, so.
That's really cool. Yeah. He's definitely a legend, and he's a heck of a player back in his day. And, the run you guys had this year, and of course, winning the championship, take us through the season and then take us through, winning that championship and what that was like. And, I know it was special for the city of Enid and just you guys in general, but take us back to the beginning. Obviously, you're going through COVID. It's kind of a different type of season. So what was that like, and what were the challenges like?
Like any other team, man. There comes challenges through, wherever you go, honestly. Our biggest challenge was like players coming in and leaving, like having a foundation, because, if you look throughout the season, you'll see different players coming in and leave. One minute we have this player, then that player, but we had a foundation. Like our solid five was there throughout the whole training camp. We had guys leave, we had guys come back, but it was manifested that the championship, man, we spoke that into existence from the beginning, though, and that was the goal, which has always been my goal. No knock on the TV, which I think I would have won my second year with the Kansas City Tornadoes. We didn't get to go to the finals, even though we were the number 1 team with management problems.
Okay, I was going to ask you why.
But,
okay.
It was higher. It was the upper level stuff. So nothing to do with the players or anything. It was management and other stuff going on. We didn't even get to go. We were the number 1 team. We didn't even get the chance to compete. But and I believe, just me, because we beat every team, I believe we would have won a championship then. I didn't stick around long enough my third year. And coming in this year, I knew I was staying the whole season. So I just figured, I mean, it was manifested. It was that was the only option for us, really. I mean, we stayed at the gym. We we stayed at a prep school. So I mean, man, it was 2, 3 in the morning, man. We were going there. If we're not getting up shots, we're playing against each other. I mean, we ate together, slept together. I mean, played. I mean, like we joked around. I mean, we did everything together. So it was literally built. Like the team, I mean, like the chemistry, everything. It was like we've been playing together for years. I mean, we really had a solid team this year. So, I mean, it was just manifesting.
And when did the season start? What month?
I want to say it started in March.
It was a while ago. Okay.
Yeah.
And I know the championship was in July, I believe, when you guys won.
Yeah,
you know, and take us through that. Take us through that game. You know, it was at home too, which was cool. You know, for you guys to win it in front of your home crowd. And what was that like? And you said you're kind of talking about manifesting it into existence. Did you have just a good feeling going into the game? Like, you know, we're going to take this?
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. We went and won in Syracuse. And, you know, winning that first game is like the biggest, that's the biggest thing you could do with the 3-game series. Going to Houston, well, I'm going to take you back to Houston first. Like when we lost the first game in Houston. And we came back home. We got beat by like 20, I want to say, in Houston. And we came back home and beat them twice. And I mean, like it's always different when you're home, well, especially when we're home or we're at home. I mean, it's like we didn't lose. We didn't lose at home. I mean, we did lose to Houston at home once. And I mean, we didn't lose at home. So I was confident anyway coming back after we had already won in Syracuse. So I was excited. We all were excited. I mean, you're not supposed to, you know, prep. I mean, like buy champagne and stuff like that. But man, we was already locked in. Like we had already had it. You know, I mean, it is what it is. Like we knew. So I knew. I had a good feeling about it. I was well rested for it and everything. So it was good.
You know, it reminds me of that iconic moment in the Bulls Pacers series in '98 on the Last Dance. Jordan says they're going into Game 7, and I think someone was saying, you know, Phil Jackson goes, you know, we might lose today, and Jordan goes, no, we're not losing. And Phil's like, no, we could lose, and Jordan goes, no, we're not losing. It was kind of that mentality he had where you're just, no, we're not going to lose. We're going to.
That's
win.
all it was. Yeah. No, that's what it was. When we lost in Houston, man, I'm talking about my whole team. I mean, not everybody. It was a couple of players that was with me. Was like, man, we got to go home and start packing up just in case we lose. And because we all, you know, once we got done, everybody was going home or whatever. So I was like, man, I'm not packing a bag. I ain't packing nothing. I know you know what I'm saying? We good. I ain't going home. I can't go home. Not right now. You know what I'm saying? I can't go home right now. So like, I mean, it was the same thing coming into Syracuse. Like, you know what I'm saying? We just knew it. So.
And what was that feeling like, Tavares, winning that championship and actually holding the trophy and, you know you're a champion? I know you've done it before, but I mean, it had to be a great feeling again.
Man, for me, it was big because, I mean, I felt like I was supposed to have a TBL championship before. So, like, it hit me. Like, I was holding in tears, letting out tears, man. I mean, like, it hit me. Like, it felt good because that's my goal, man. Like, when I do something, man, I aim to do my best. And, you know, I mean, like, I want the best outcome at the end of the day. Like, and I wanted to win, man. Like, I wanted it. You know what I mean? We all wanted it, but it was something I really, really wanted. So it touched me. So it was something it's a moment in my life I'm very proud of, to be honest.
You should be too. And that's a big deal. Winning a championship at any level is a big deal. And I think it's, I mean, I've had many players in the show, and a lot of them never won championships at any level, you know, so not everyone has that feeling. So it's only a feeling that certain people will experience in their life. And, you know, especially as you get into semi-pro leagues and pro leagues, you know, there's only one team that wins, and there's only so many people have a ring and have a trophy to show what they did. So that is a big deal. And it's cool to hear, you know, I want the young kids listening to understand, like, you know, you got to work at it. And like, I think the mindset aspect you talked about, the manifestation and the look, that's a huge overlooked part of sports to me, is that aspect of it. It's all mental. I mean, as you know, that's how, you know,
we were in training camp, and this is before the season. This is how manifested it was. It was after the first practice, and we bring it in. I was the captain. I'm the captain of the team or whatever. So like we brought it in, and we don't say outlaws or anything like that. We say 1, 2, 3 TBL champs. That's it. So we had already manifested from training camp, the first day of training camp.
That's
I mean,
so
guys
cool.
who wasn't even on, the guys who wasn't even on the team, TBL champs on 3 every time.
I love that. It's a great lesson for people out there. I mean, you gotta, if you can't think something in your own mind, you don't think it's possible, and it's not going to happen. So you have to have that confidence, and you have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe in the end goal. So again, what you guys did is very cool. I didn't know that aspect of it. So that makes it even better. But it's just it's a cool, that for anybody listening, anybody at any age, but especially people who are younger coming up and playing sports, you got to have that mentality. You can't have the mentality of, well, we might, you got to say, no, we're going to win this. We're going to take this. And you got to, and then you work hard at it.
Yeah.
So
Confidence is key.
No question about it. And, so now going forward with everything you're doing, what are you looking to do in the next year or two? And what is your end goal? Is there other leagues you want to get into? Do you want to stay in the TBL? I mean, I know the NBA obviously is your ultimate goal, but is there anything else you're looking to get into?
Honestly, yeah. I'm on trying to get on a growing scale of like the pay scale. Trying to get a solid foundation, trying to get somewhere where I can build a fan base and just grow from there. Whether it's overseas, I still got NBA dreams and goals, and hopefully, make it happen, which we will manifest it right now,
Yes.
which we will.
We'll look
it's
back
still
on
going
this.
to happen. Yeah, we'll look back on this one day. It's still going to happen. But yeah, my goal is to like get better as time goes on, and hopefully, build something solid financially, something very stable. Nothing against the TBL, it's a growing stage. It's the league is set to get players better jobs, put you in better situations. That's what the league is about. It's an opportunity league. So as long as I finish any season anywhere else, and the TBL allows me to come play, I will continue to play in the TBL. But I look to play overseas, or hopefully in the G League or NBA pretty soon.
And you played in the TBT, didn't you?
No, I got invited to play on the team in the TBT, but we were in the championship.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
One of my buddies actually.
I will be next year.
Okay. Yeah, I had a couple of people on the show that played in the TBT, and then one of my friends is a former player named Kenny Thomas, played in the NBA for about 10 years. Good played for New Mexico and played for the Kings and Sixers, but he was a coach of the New Mexico team. So, I'm very familiar with the TBT. I had Antoine Mason on here, whose father played in the NBA, Anthony Mason. So he played in the TBT, and it's cool to see all the different guys that play in that. It's a great tournament, and fun to watch.
Yeah, I haven't played in it yet, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm ready. So next year, just be looking out for Sledge's name.
I will. I follow you, so
should be everywhere. Yeah.
I love it. So a couple questions I want to ask you, Tavares, about and referring to people like kids who are maybe in high school or college looking to maybe go semi-pro afterwards. So they're not going to go to the NBA right away, but they got to work their way towards that like most people do. What advice would you give like an 18, 19-year-old kid?
Man, I give advice to those kids all the time. My thing is work now while you can, like literally while you can, because you don't want to wait until you my age or older and try to put that work in once you realize you haven't been putting that work in as much as you could. And while you're young, I mean, you don't have that much responsibility, but you do. But I mean, like it's not the same once you get out on your own. And when you got time like that as a youth, as a teen, I mean, man, put that work in. The work is everything. You get out what you put in, and I mean that's the realest thing I could ever tell anybody. Work is everything. You have to put the work in. That's the only way things will work out. For you to put the work in. So, your IQ, your mental is also it plays a big part in where you're gonna be and where you want to be. So if you can mentally handle having to work out 3 times a day, having to sacrifice not doing this or having to do this mentally, if you can grasp that part of it, man, I mean, like, everything will be set how it's supposed to be. Everything will go how it's supposed to.
I love it. And how have you grown mentally in the last 10, 12 years, since high school all the way to now? What has been the biggest mindset change for you?
handling my emotions, to be honest with you.
That could be tough.
I'm very it is. I mean, like, man, I love this game. I mean, when I tell you I love this game, like it's times in the game, man, where I'm tired. I mean, I literally I feel like I could pass out sometimes, but I never stop. You know what I mean? Like, I love it that much. I mean, like, I would die on the court, honestly. I'm always giving my all. I love this game. So, it's nothing I wouldn't do for it. So you have to love it.
You do. And I love the passion you have for it. And like you said, handling your emotions in any aspect of life, really, not just in sports, but it's such a key, critical part of life. Yeah. And most people don't.
I get intense at times, man. I mean, I get caught up in the game and I want to win so bad, man. But now it's like, I focus on more things of like my emotions, like why did he do that, or like, you know what I mean, like instead of yelling at people now, you know what I mean, like I talk to, you know what I mean, like, hey, if you do this, or you know, it's about how you approach everything. So like my emotions, like I felt like he should have did this, or you know what I mean, like, so I used to like just, hey man, don't do that, or you know, instead of like the reasoning why or this or that. I mean, I'm very intense with the game. I mean, I guess that's why I got the captain role, because I mean, I'm very outspoken, but like I love to win, man. And I do what it takes to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll make the extra pass. You know what I mean? Like, if or whatever, I'll dive after the ball. I'll take that charge. You know what I mean? Like, I'll literally do whatever. So it's like handling my emotions about what others do or how things are going. You know what I mean? So like, I've been getting better, way better at it. So.
And Tavares, I have a couple more questions for you. And again, I really appreciate you coming on and talking to me. One of the questions is, if you were talking to someone who's never seen you play before, how would you describe your game?
Describe it? Like, what do you mean?
Like what's your style of play? You know, what do you know, what's your go-to? Like, what are you, you know?
I do it all, literally. I shoot the ball. I shoot better than I finish around the rim, to be honest with you. I mean, my jumper is better than my finishing a little bit. But I drive the ball well. I pass the ball very well. I'm big on defense. Talk a lot. I literally do it all. Every year, if I'm not the leader, I'm in the top 10 rebounding in every league I played in. Top 5, honestly, top 5.
Wow.
I'm a big threat with scoring the ball. So, like, to simplify it, just an all-around game. I do everything: shoot, post up, pass the ball, defend, rebound. You know, just about everything.
And you got good size at 6'9". So I mean, that's you're a big dude. Yeah, and that's actually the perfect size for what they're looking for in the NBA right now, because they're looking for those guys who are 6'9", 6'8", 6'9", who can kind of do everything. You know, I mean, that's the thing, is that unless you're shooting lights out, you got to be over 6'4", 6'5". Now you can't be small anymore. I mean, Trae Young can get away with it because he could shoot lights out, but you know, most of those guys can't when they're that small now. So
I mean, because it's a problem when you got to defend somebody at that size.
Exactly. So guys who can defend in the pick and rolls and all that, that's the huge thing now. I mean, that's you can't be, they're just, you know, the NBA is turning into really guys your size. That's what it's turning. That's the ideal size for the NBA now. Yeah.
I'm hoping, man, I get in the G League. If I get the opportunity just to get in with a team, I mean, I promise you, I'm going to showcase some good talent and skills. And I think it'll be something real good. I mean, I just hopefully I get that opportunity coming soon.
I hope you do too. You have the attitude, I can tell you that much. And you know, if someone picks you up, and I can just tell by talking to you, you're gonna work your ass off. So that's a big deal. Sure. That's a big deal. Yeah. And wait, so when you look back at your entire career to this point, what has been your favorite memory?
Throughout my career, my favorite memory. I mean, it's hard to say because like right now it's like the French championship. So like, I mean, I don't know, man. I've had so many, man. Like everywhere I go is like I've always met either a family or a kid or somebody that's like a diehard fan, man. So it's like I've always had moments where it's like, man, that meant everything right there. Like, you know what I mean? Like a kid coming to give me something or like, you know what I mean? Like they drew pictures. Like in Enid, I had like a family of kids. They all drew family pictures and put me in like the pictures and stuff. So like I still have it, and I don't know. It's moments like that everywhere too. In Chile, kids. I mean, families really. where I stayed at, the neighbors, they were fans of the team anyway. But they used to always bring me like food or breakfast or something, like just out of generosity, things like that. I mean, I that always stuck out more to me than just I always played good, I feel like, man, you know what I mean? So like it's not anytime I play like something crazy, outstanding, like when like in the TBL, I had 41 and 22 and 12 assists in the finals game to beat Yakima
Wow.
The first year. So a lot of people that probably would be like, that'd be something they would say, you know what I mean? Like, but I always play good, so it's like that doesn't shock me, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I feel like I always play good. I mean, so it's not a number thing right now. It's more of a relationship, feelings and emotions that I get out of what I get from basketball.
I love that. And I love how you talk about the kids who are drawing you in their family pictures, and the people in Chile who gave you food, who treated you to food. I mean, that to me, those memories in any part of life is what when you look back, years from now, that's what you're going to remember more than anything.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
For sure. Yeah.
So based on that, and this is the last question, and I asked every guest this question. I love hearing this answer. When you look back, so 30 years from now, you're retired and you're on a beach somewhere enjoying life with your grandkids. What do you want people to know about the legacy of Tavares Sledge?
Honestly, I would say the legacy. I don't know, man. Like I'm him. Like I'm really him. Like I mean that out of confidence, not cockiness. I like confidence. It's nothing I haven't done. I mean, I've proven myself as a winner. I've always been a part of winning programs. I've always started anywhere I played. I've always started. Just remember, I mean, like I don't know, like it's just I did this because I love it. I did this out of like it was all love, the love for the game. That's what they should remember. It hasn't been money. We all have that goal to get that NBA money, that contract. But if you do the research and history throughout the TBL, it hasn't been about money. It's about the love of the game. I just want people to remember that, if anything.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, and you're right. What you guys do, that's why I love talking to people who play semi-pro, because you have to have that passion for the game. You have to. You have no chance, and just like my brother's best friend played minor league baseball for a period of years, and he got his ass beat. He was a catcher, so he was constantly getting beat up. He wasn't getting paid much, but he loved the game. And to this day, he still has knee issues, but he did it for the love of the game. And he's like, I never made it to the majors, but I played the game I love for many years. So that's,
Hey, we all gotta die one day, man. I'd rather do something I love to do and go out as that guy instead of the guy who regrets. Hey, man, I didn't do it because it wasn't enough money, or it wasn't the NBA, or it wasn't this, or wasn't that. I love the game, man. So I'm gonna do it until I'm done. So that just, hey, hopefully they remember that,
100%. And again, I know so many people who have jobs where they make really good money and they're kind of miserable, and they just, it's not, don't get me wrong. We all love money. We all want money, but it's if you're sacrificing your happiness for it, is it really worth it over the, a period of 30 or 40 years? I don't think it is. I mean, if you're miserable. So I totally agree with that mindset.
Yeah.
So Tavares, I want to thank you for coming on the show. It was awesome talking to you, man. And congratulations on that championship.
Absolutely. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Congrats on the championship, and we got to talk again soon.
Yeah, for sure. I got some stuff coming up, man. So hopefully, we will.
Absolutely. Hit me up on IG. So
I got you, man.
Awesome,
Take care, man.
All right, you too. All right, you too. We'll talk soon.
All right, have a good one. All right.